Hey there, Clue Crew. Ariana from Coal Mine Sisters here, and today we're talking about 4 times when, like, maybe Nancy really should have just reevaluated her decisions. Like, really, Nancy? Maybe you just don't? Since Secret of the Old Clock was first published April 28, 1930, little girls have always looked up to the intrepid girl detective Nancy Drew. She has always been a great role model for young people. She's smart, brave, independent, and has the overwhelming need to do what's right and protect the downtrodden. Of course, another characteristic is her complete lack of basic survival instincts. Nancy is so determined to solve these cases that any thoughts of self-preservation just go flying out the window the moment she has a lead. Between her setting off to parts unknown without telling anyone,
You're in Scotland?
and her deciding to take on extremely dangerous people,
Somebody knocked you out, locked you in a shed, set it on fire, and you think they were, what, just pulling a prank? Wake up and smell the hostile vibes, Nancy.
she is bound to drive her friends and family to an early grave. Now, I'm going to exclude all of the fires, bombs, working with electrical or chemical components she shouldn't be, and wild animal encounters from this list. We'll just pretend there was no way to avoid those and move on. As you guys know, I can go on for days about the things Nancy shouldn't have done in this game, but I'm not going to mention them. Handling artifacts and dealing with things she wasn't qualified to deal with. Ooh, something caught in my throat there. Instead, let's focus on that old ham radio she gets to using. See, in trying to figure out what the heck is going on at Beach Hill, Nancy follows up on some notes she finds. Using those notes, she does business with smugglers. You know, dangerous people. People she really shouldn't be dealing with. And, she has no idea why she's doing this. She's surprised to get an artifact in the mail. Just your regular day for Nancy. Danger? What danger? Drew. Phantom of Venice is the only time we ever get some kind of flash forward from a Nancy Drew game. We start the game with Nancy walking into this very dank-looking place. A large metal door then slams shut behind her, and the room starts filling up with water. And Nancy thinks to herself, well, Nancy, things are not looking good. What the heck happened? And then we see exactly what the heck happened. Nancy has spent the game working with the Venetian authorities, so she has been working with law enforcement to bring down a big-time criminal. Okay, she's great at theft cases, and she's got professional backup. But does she go down into this water well maze accompanied by backup? Does she even tell anyone where she's going so they'll know what to do if something goes wrong? Hex no! Not Nancy, nah, I got this, Drew. It's dumb enough when, in normal circumstances, she neglects to tell her friends where she'll be so they can know where to look for her. But she has actual law enforcement on her side, and she doesn't even bother with them. During the climactic and super stressful ending to Danger on Deception Island, Nancy returns to find Katie has gotten her boat working and is no longer there. So, she decides to ask Andy Jason to take her out on his boat to go looking for her. Okay, bad idea, but not dangerous so far. Then she begins to approach a ship. Red flags, Nance. Then we see that ship is way too big to be Katie's little boat and has to be the boat full of criminals who have been smuggling, stealing, and using baby orca for their crimes. So Nancy approaches the ship in her kayak. No matter what, she should not have approached and boarded a strange boat. She really shouldn't have when she clearly realized it was the bad guy's boat. So she sneaks around on this ship trying not to get caught by the crew, whom I have to reiterate are dangerous criminals, when she could have just called the Coast Guard or someone else. But no, Nancy, I'm invincible Drew, seems to think that she can take on a ship full of people all on her own. So let's tally up her offenses here. Nancy, 1, goes off after Katie for no real reason. 2, she approaches a strange boat she can clearly see is the bad guy's boat. 3, boards that boat. 4, sneaks around amongst the dangerous strangers. And let's just add 5, throws a fire extinguisher to the orca rather than just swinging and knocking that creeper Andy Jason out cold on her own. She takes so many unnecessary risks here. Why? What do you do when you get a strange call in the middle of the night and the disguised voice on the other end claims to know what happened to your dead mother, who you had just assumed died in an accident? Would you jump on a plane without bothering to even tell your father and fly to Scotland to deal with top secret shadow organization? No, of course you wouldn't, because that's how you get kidnapped or killed. It's not what people who want to live generally do. But good old Nancy Drew, she does exactly that, because, why not? Her father has every right to be worried about her, especially given that he kind of knows what Kate was doing there that got her killed. She goes off on her own, doesn't tell anyone where she's going, and then allows herself to jump headfirst into working with Cathedral, an organization that, for all she knows, killed her mother and wants to kill her too. The worst part about this is there is no greater good here. In all these other instances, we can just chalk it up to Nancy trying to protect people and do what's right. In Silent Spy, she just throws caution to the wind to find some truth she didn't even know she needed. So, not to get super dark regarding the bright and happy Nancy Drew.
But then one day I was older than my older sister, and older still today.
Yeah, happy. But in all honesty, what's going on here? Why does our heroine risk her life without any reason or taking any precaution? Is it blind heroism, or does Nancy really not care if she lives or dies? That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think or where I might have gotten something wrong. If you want more, click like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our Chromeister Sisters podcast. For more Clue Crew content, check out our Tumblr at chromeistersisters.tumblr.com or follow us on Twitter at KMeisterSisters. As always, I'm Ariana, and I'll catch you later, Super Sleuths.